Hello, my name is Patrick Latimer. I am the Associate Director of Admissions at the A. Gary Anderson Graduate School of Management at the University of California, Riverside. And joining me is...
Hi everyone, I'm Simran Handa. I'm a Masters of Finance student at UC Riverside, and I'm just here to answer any questions that you might have for any courses that School of Business have or Masters of Finance. But yeah, nice to be here.
And so we like to give you a little bit of an introduction to the University of California system. We are a series of 10 universities, research universities in the state of California. We're public universities. The system has produced 75 Nobel laureates. We have nearly 300,000 students throughout the system with over 2 million living alumni all over the globe. Essentially when you are walking into a very large alumni group that can support you all over the globe, which can lead to great impact in your career. UCR has been recognized as the 75th best university in the United States. We've been ranked #1 in social mobility for like 5 years. We've been ranked at best value and most innovative, and we've been ranked the number 36th best public university in the United States. Isn't that right, Scotty, our mascot, the Scotty the Bear there on the screen? And then our location. So if you're not familiar with us, we're here in Southern California. This is a big supply chain and logistics hub. We're the little star here on the map. So we're about an hour away from Los Angeles, about an hour from Palm Springs, about an hour and a half from San Diego, and about 3.5 hours by car from Las Vegas, Nevada. We are in the city of Riverside, so I live in Riverside. We're in the county of Riverside. Riverside County is the 10th most populated county in the United States. Our university has over 26,000 students. It's creeping up. It's getting pretty close to 30,000 students, and you do have access to, you can get here relatively easily. You can be here. You can fly into an airport called Ontario International Airport, which is only 25 minutes from campus. You don't always have to fly into LAX. We also have great faculty at UCR. One of the great reasons to attend a research university is that your faculty are going to be bringing that research into the classroom and sharing that current research into the classroom. These faculty are doing research and publishing every year. It's one of their requirements. In fact, you can find some of their research on our website at business.ucr.edu/research/news. Again, it's one of the things that creates a big impact for you in your MBA, because you are not just buying off-the-shelf research from some sort of an organization. You are, from like something else. You are actually getting, like the actual research from the faculty there. So it's pretty cool. It's something that you're going to get to experience at a research university. And then another great thing that we like to talk about that's going to help your impact is we have a brand new School of Business building. It just had its 1-year anniversary. This is the rendering of it, but I'm going to be showing you, of course, you can probably see it behind me, the actual building. It's 63,000 square feet, a lot of great perks for graduate students. You have your own graduate student lounge. All of the study spaces are exclusively for graduate students. You don't have to share them with undergrad students. And then we have our own coffee shop indoors and everything, which is really great. So this is the new building. Again, just had its 1-year anniversary last month. Pretty cool. This is our lobby with the coffee shop and our multi-purpose room and our finance lab. And Simran, I'll ask you, you were able to start right when the building opened. Can you share some of your experiences in our new building?
Sure, yeah. I was one of the fortunate students who could start my course in the new School of Business, and we absolutely love the classes. The classes are huge, and it's easy to interact with the professor, and all the auditoriums. We get to do all the events. I'm a part of Student Ambassador, so we hold a lot of events as a part of my ambassador or prospective students. And we do a lot of study sessions. The School of Business is open up until probably like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the night. So we could just go to the cafe and get ourselves coffees or snacks while we are studying. And I think the best part is to use the finance lab. As a part of Masters of Finance, we have to use the Bloomberg terminal, and that's really accessible for us to just go to the lab and use the computers.
Oh, that's great. And so we have 4 degree programs at UCR. We're primarily talking about the MBA program in this session, but in total, we have about 407 students in the School of Business, whether it's people finishing up their, coming in brand new or finishing up their second year from about 24 different countries. And all of our programs have a STEM designation. So the STEM designation is good for folks that if they were international, if they were wanting to do on-the-job training in the US for 36 months, that's a great perk for them. And then some of the items about our MBA program is that it's a traditional 2-year MBA. We have 6 concentrations, and it's been ranked the 88th best MBA by US News and World Report and the 86th best MBA by the QS rankings. And so you can do concentrations in management, finance, accounting, marketing. And then we have some concentrations that you don't necessarily find everywhere, like operations and supply management, as well as business analytics. And then this is a little bit of our class profile. So we're about 50-50 male, female, about 33% of our students are international. Most of the students undergrad their degree, usually each year about 40 to 50% come from like business or commerce, but then the rest come from everywhere else, like social science, engineering, computer science, humanities, and so forth. Average GPA is about a 3.4, and the average work experience is about 36 months. Sorry, 38 months. That's 38 months. We also have a version of the MBA for early career professionals. So if you wanted to join an MBA with less than 3 years of work experience, you can absolutely do that with us. Some people like to get their MBA earlier in their career, try to be eligible for certain leadership positions a little bit earlier. And so there is a pathway for that by doing an MBA with us that way. And this version of the MBA has been ranked the 56th best part-time MBA in the US. So domestic students can do this version of the MBA part-time in the evening and on Saturdays while they're working. So that's pretty cool. We have a Master of Professional Accountancy degree, which is oftentimes for people that want to be like a CPA. So that is an option for people that are looking for that CPA option with us. They can complete it in as quickly as 1 to 1.5 years. We have a Master of Finance specialty master's degree. Oftentimes people looking to go into that degree program want to be like a CFA. And so this program can set them up and give them the skills for that to go into a finance career. And so that's an option that people can do. They can complete it in anywhere from 1 year to 1.5 years. And then we also have a Master of Science in Business Analytics. Very similar. This program is probably gets one of our larger number of applications each year, sort of rivaling MBA. And again, like our other specialized masters, you can complete it in 9 to 15 months. And but what's great is that, as an MBA student, you can also take these accounting, finance, and analytics classes as electives and get concentrations in them. So there's sort of a very deep well of options for you. So another way that you can really thrive professionally at a school like UC Riverside and personally is that there are a lot of student opportunities when you've got nearly 30,000 students. So we have a Center for Entrepreneurship on campus called EPIC, where you take free entrepreneurship classes. We have executive fellows and networking and industry panels where we bring executive fellows to campus that do different presentations and lectures to our current students. We have over 400 student clubs and associations on campus, Over 20 of them are related to business, which is really, really great. So there is, if you can think of it, in business, there's probably a club for it. We have an ambassador group. We have American Marketing Association, the Accounting Society, the Programming Club, Entrepreneurship Club, Product Club. Wow, that's a lot of clubs. There can't be more, Patrick, can there? Yes, there's Women in Business. There's Future Business Leaders of America. There's even Ascend, UCR. Patrick, that's so many clubs. There's not any more. Yes, there are. We have our Information Systems Club, our Business Strategy Club, our Latino Business Student Association Club. Clearly, Patrick, there's no more. That's so many clubs. No, we have Real Estate Club. We have a Supply Chain Club, and even a Venture Capital Association. So we have a lot of clubs and organizations. A lot of times they bring alumni back to connect with our students. And so joining clubs allows you to connect with employers will connect directly with these clubs and organizations. So clubs are a great way to grow your network, help your internship and career chances. Simran, did you want to share maybe some examples of some of your interactions with some certain clubs and organizations that you know of and are involved in?
Yeah, sure. I'm involved primarily in the Graduate Student Ambassador organization. And what we do basically in that, we have different sessions with the prospective students that could be within and outside UCR. We host preview days and we have tablings every Wednesday. So basically, what we do is we just talk to the students as an ambassador. We just share our experience, what it's like to be a UCR student, what's our like takeaway, and what did we do, and how can it help the students to apply when they are considering to do a graduate program with us. So that's really nice because it helps me to give back to the community as well.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Our application process, we're not going to go into it in depth here, but it's not too complicated. Pretty standard items, a resume, an essay, copies of your transcripts. Test scores are optional. If you've done well and you've taken those standardized tests, you can submit them, but they are optional. And then we accept applications pretty much throughout the year, starting in September, going all the way to June for international students, and all the way to August for domestic students. And there's a wide variety of ways to be in touch with us. We consider all of our admitted students. Most of the admitted students are essentially qualifying for a scholarship. We also have teaching assistantships available for our MBA students. So if you're admitted to our MBA or PMBA, you could be offered a guaranteed teaching assistantship, and that is a financial package worth about $30,000, which can really help you. You get to be UCR faculty for 9 months. That's pretty cool. And then it's something nice to put on your resume that employers will see, and so it's a way that sort of shows a certain level of competence and responsibility, and there's some great financial perks with it as well. This is our team, so there's some photos here. This is our admissions team, and so hey, I'm in there. There he is. One of the other major portions about going to graduate school is that we develop you as a professional. This is one of the components of graduate business education that maybe some people don't think of, but we are there to help develop you as a professional with our our student services, career services, and our academic advising. And so there's pretty standard things that you might experience with like going to college, where people are like you have advisors that are helping you choose courses, but we are helping you build your resume, your cover letter, doing skill assessments, doing mock interviews, training you in salary negotiations, helping you develop your network, offering you a professional development fund, doing employer like site visit when employers come on campus, when we go to do site visits with different companies. All of these different things, professional workshops are occurring constantly throughout the year, and providing all different types of services. And so we welcome you with an orientation. We get you acclimated with welcome week events to sort of help connect you with the other students. We have a big bonfire that we do at the beach. We have a culture fest, spring banquets. We do case competitions. So a wide variety of things that help develop your network, your communications, but also are fun. Business school is fun too. That's another thing. Business school is fun. So we have a number of platforms as well that we have available that are essentially available to elite business schools that help you with this entire career development, internship search, career search. So one of the platforms that we offer is a platform called 1220, which is sort of like a home base for you to communicate with your advisors and the coaches at the school. But also on that platform, companies are posting webinars and different types of events on that platform as well. We also have platforms like Handshake that do something similar. And then we also have platforms like MBA Exchange, where let's say that you want to do a search for companies that are like a medical device company within 60 miles of Riverside, California, that are hiring H-1Bs, or hire or that offer H-1Bs. Like, you can find that in these type of searches, and then you'll be able to find those companies, and those companies will even have listed on there whether they are offering internships or if they're hiring for positions. These platforms are only, these are like essentially subscription platforms that are only available to top business schools. And then Simran, I mean, I know we've been talking about the graduate student success so far. I was curious to know some of your experiences with it. That you've had so far with maybe some of these platforms or some of the events that they've held.
Yeah, I throughout my course so far, I keep in touch with all the career coaches. I keep in touch with my graduate advisor too, just so that I get to know about all the events that's happening. If there's anything on these platforms that I'm not aware of, and just so that they could also guide me in my next steps. And they have been nothing but very helpful. I have attended many, what do you say, many events where I just don't get the right word, but the event where the companies are coming and you get to talk to them through 1220 and Handshake.
I'll have a slide
That's,
for some of them. Yeah, we'll have a slide. Like,
yeah.
there's maybe talent forum. There's,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. The talent forum. I just couldn't get that one word. But yeah, it has been really good. And the career coaches are so good. I spent almost my entire summer with all the three career coaches, and it was such a different experience because they all had different tips to share with me, and the tips were very useful. I picked the best and the right advice for me from all three of them, and I tailored my resume in that way, my cover letter, and they prepared me for my internship and job hunt for the next upcoming the career cycle. But yeah, it was really good to be in touch with them.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And so, we help develop you as a professional before you've even set foot on campus. So UCR we're a quarter system. So we start later in the year. A number of institutions start in August. We start in September. But starting over the summer in July, we're working with you on programs like Business Ready and Career Ready, which are sort of virtual sessions getting you prepared for the internship and job search. Then we have a 6-day boot camp called MBA Elevate that takes place in early September for our MBA and PMBA students. And so it's a series of workshops, again, developing you professionally to make sure that you are communicating the right things about yourself in your, whether it's your online profiles, your resume, and tips and networking. Then we have an orientation that takes place in September, and then we do a job search essentials around the time that school starts as well. And then these are some of the photos from our Elevate session that you can see here in the bottom of the screen there. And then other programs that we've done, again, like we have a Meet the Firms. We do like a Meet the Firms day where a lot of firms, largely in like accounting and finance, come to campus. Talent Forum are companies from a wide variety of backgrounds. We do employer information sessions where we bring them on campus to connect with our students. And then we do site visits where we go to the company. And so, we went to a Google site in Orange County. Did you go to this, Simran? I'm looking at faces. Did you go to this one?
No, I couldn't go, but what I heard, it was such a good session, and a lot of people could build connection with the staff members at Google Irvine. I just missed it by like few minutes,
That's
the
oh, it's okay.
registration.
It's okay. We also do collaborations with other UC. So I mentioned there's 10 other UCs in the system. So we do collaborations for virtual career events, workshops, conferences with other University of California campuses. So that's cool. You sort of have again, like employers like to be able to reach. They like to get value for their recruitment dollar as well in their recruitment time. So being able to recruit with all of the UCs is also a way to bring people in. Again, we also help you professionally by bringing in alumni from different sectors. And we had a career summit that we did this year in October, and we had alumni come back from finance, tech, marketing, entrepreneurship, a wide variety of organizations, and then they did small sessions with our current students to talk to them, about, again, career advice, how they got their jobs, and what it takes to sort of thrive in their different sectors. And so the people you're seeing here with like top companies, some of them are local. I mean, you're seeing people from like Google and Netflix and Amazon and Red Bull and stuff like that. So they come from a wide variety of sectors, and these are not like people that we just pulled that worked for the company. These are UCR like master's alumni that are conducting these sessions, and so they're giving you really like firsthand knowledge from that. And so it's great to connect you with them. We also I mentioned our executive fellows. So the executive fellows also come to campus and do small sessions. So you like in these pictures here, like some of these rooms are actually pretty like relatively small meeting rooms. So they're able to do small group sessions with our students. And so this is a great way for you to connect with these different alumni. Some of them are alumni and some of them are not, but they're executives that we have brought into the fold. That business schools do this. That they bring these executives in the fold to help their students and communicate those things to them. You can see some of the different places where our students have gotten jobs over the past 5 years. You're going to see finance, accounting, geoinformation systems. You're going to see tech, creative industries, just a wide variety of different types of you're going to see healthcare. You're going to see consumer goods, wide variety of stuff here. And then we do a good job of communicating all this stuff to you as well. So obviously we have the platforms for you, but we send you newsletters every week about different things and internships and jobs that are coming in that we want to promote. So, just, be logging into those sites, check your email. It's just, we provide it there for you on a silver platter. So it's pretty cool. And then I wanted to share some things with you with some of our MBA outcomes. And we're not even actually finished collecting our outcome data for the year, but I just wanted to give you kind of some early stuff. So for our MBA and PMBA folks, the average compensation that they're getting is in the mid 90,000s. Our international students are performing essentially just as well as the domestic students in terms of their job search. I know there's people were having concerns and anxiety, but the outcomes with that are reflecting well with the mirroring the domestic. and they're getting a good return on their investment and showing upward mobility from sort of how they performed, before they got the MBA to like right after graduation, which like one of our highest compensations was somebody got over $200,000 working for TikTok. And then they're getting roles in positions and things like operations manager, being a senior sales operations analyst, business analyst, finance manager, broker manager, HR analyst. And they are, they're like, so these positions are demonstrating to the employers that like their readiness for leadership and strategic responsibility. Different types of companies that this, like, some very recent data is showing is Uber, TikTok, Bank of America, EY, Samsung, Esri, Disney, Solar Turbines, U.S. Treasury. And then they are like, a lot of the students, like when they were coming in, maybe they had different types of careers where they were maybe doing something that was like hourly. Now they're like transitioning into like real, like strong full-time professional positions. Career changers are showing growth of 40 to 50% in their salary, sort of pre-MBA to right after graduation in the MBA. And then a lot of students are even getting internships and jobs before they have graduated from the program. I do want to highlight this photo too. This is our new School of Business building as well. This is our fourth floor conference room looking out over Riverside there. So pretty cool. And then this one is our grad student lounge. So the grad student lounge, this is exclusive for the grad students. This is the boardroom that they have on the fourth floor. So I always think that view is really cool. And then where do our graduates work? Well, 80% of them are working in California, in like major business hubs here in California. So that's great. California is like the fourth largest economy in the world. So, hey, coming to a well-known business school in the fourth largest economy in the world is pretty cool. Other types of places where they've gone are places like Texas, New Jersey, Tennessee, Florida, Illinois, Nevada, state of Georgia, Pennsylvania. So the UCR education and brand has strength beyond just the state of California. So that means other people have like heard and do that sort of thing. So they've heard of UCR and so forth. So that's really great. In addition to that, they're going into different types of industries like tech, finance. Some are even going into like government, entertainment, accounting, sustainability, supply chain, and so forth. And then just momentum. So we have constantly growing rankings. I mentioned the great like state-of-the-art School of Business building, and it's attracting a lot of great people from business leaders from the community, corporate partners, even deans of other business schools come to UCR. We just had one of the other major Cal States came and brought a contingent of people to visit us on Monday. And then this picture here is a picture of our like multi-purpose room, and you can see the big door in the back exits out into sort of a courtyard, and it's California, so the weather's always nice, and so it's like brings in all the fresh air and everything. So pretty cool space to sort of show off to you. This is the graduate student success team, with Sarah, Bridget, and Alexis, and then we have career coaches. There's Tim, William, and Ashley. And so we have a good, strong team here, people with a lot of experience. Some of them are coming from UCLA, some are coming from USC. So pretty cool to see. And then here's our team. And so Marina, myself, Maribel, and Darren work with our MBA folks. So when you are applying to the MBA program, you are, your main points of contact will most likely be Darren and Maribel. Maybe before you've applied, it would be myself and Marina you might want to be connecting with. But anyway, there's a group of people here, and then of course our director Steve Chen and everything. And then any next steps you might have, you can schedule a one-on-one with us. If you're local, we're in Southern California, you can join us for, well, actually you can join us for a virtual event. So if you want to, you can find our events there. And then if you wanted to start an application, you can join it there. So anyway, Simran, did you have anything that you wanted to add? As I sort of went through and talked about, some of the career outcomes and other elements related to our graduate student success team.
Honestly, I believe you have covered everything, and I am happy to just share my experience as and when the question comes up. But I just think, and one advice that I could give to the panelists, that um, start connecting with the advisors, like Patrick has mentioned. If you have any further questions or just anything that you would like to know more about, whatever he has mentioned, Patrick is a good starting contact point. He has a lot of answers and information to, I would just say, all and every question, but so does the entire admission team. Everyone is so nice and friendly. And I would just say that once you start your program, just be connected. Keep meeting the career coaches right from the start of your course. Keep meeting the graduate advisor team as well, just so that you're on track with everything, whether or not you're a domestic or an international student. And just with the career outcomes, I think you also mentioned that we have a lot of executives that comes in, and it's really nice. I have attended a lot of sessions with them because I got to know how they started their career, and we all are in the same boat. The initial phase is always so difficult, but once you step in, it's so easy, and then you can help others. But it's so nice to know how they step in the industry and what they do and what can you learn from them. So yeah, I just feel like UCR has a lot of resources to offer, and I have used it honestly, and I have been benefited in many ways. But I think you've very much covered everything. Thank you, Patrick. I'm sorry, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
1, 2, 3. You can hear me? 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay. I was going to ask you, Simran, if you could maybe share a little bit about your background, sort of where you're from, where you did your undergrad, and maybe share you have a little bit of a connection with UCR already. If you wanted to share a little bit of that story with us.
Sure. So my background is very interesting.
Oh, Simran's mic is.
Oh,
See, check it. See, it might have muted you because I think it muted me. There we go. Want to try now?
can you guys hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I can't hear. Yeah, I can't hear.
You can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can't hear you. But I'll go ahead and let's see. Oh, you guys can hear it? Okay, you can hear. Okay. I maybe you can go ahead and speak. I can't hear you for some reason. Oh, you know what? Let me but anyway, go ahead.
Okay, awesome. So I come from India. I was born and brought up in India. I did my undergraduate course in India. I did a bachelor's of computer engineering. But then I just wanted to elevate and step into a different country, and I wanted to do my MBA. So I moved to Australia. I went to Melbourne, Australia, where I did my MBA. And once I did my MBA, I was working for the same university. I was one of the international student counselor there. I worked there for 3+ years, and I was always connected in the finance aspect and with all the numbers and analytical aspects of it, whether it comes to academic exposure or my work exposure. And my connection with UCR is very special in a way because my brother is a UCR alumni. He did his Masters of Finance at UCR. And the first time I visited UCR was back in 2023 for my brother's graduation walk ceremony, and I got to meet a lot of staff members and students who were starting that time and alumni, and they had some beautiful testimonies to share about their experience. I got to learn about the Masters of Finance program and how the program is structured through my brother, and that piqued an interest in me. My brother and I always wanted to be in finance together, and maybe we might want to have a business in future. So I was like, oh, I do have the management skills, and why not just get a technical skill, get some technical skills as well. And that piqued my interest, and I decided to do my Masters of Finance degree at UC Riverside. I have first-hand experienced it. It's just a 9 to 15 months program, and it is really nice because it gives you the flexibility to get the most out of it, get the intrigued or the essential core courses of finance to study just in 9 months or extended to 15 months. And then the program is also structured into different aspects. One is corporate finance and investment, and the other one is investment banking or investment. So I chose corporate finance. That's what my interest is. And the other thing which I liked about my program is I had the flexibility to choose two open electives, which could be from any management program. So I chose to do two MBA programs on top of my two MBA courses on top of my MBA. One was strategic management, and the other was where we basically learn how to communicate, and the negotiation and just the communication aspect in an American market, and which was really good because you get to learn um, all these skills that you need to have apart from the technical skills, and how can you apply them. um, just because every country, every city has a different market, industry is very different, and I believe that I was very much benefited by my entire program and the courses that I've selected, and pretty confident with whatever I've studied in my program so far. But yeah, that's my journey with Masters of Finance and why I chose UCR.
And then, you know, oftentimes people will ask us a question. They'll say, I'm really interested in finance. Should I
Mhm.
do a Master of Finance or should I do an MBA with a concentration in finance? And we come across that, and I'd like to hear your your take on that. I think it's probably I think there's a lot of ways that that can be answered.
Mhm.
Um, and then, I think you were touching on this.
Yeah.
You were touching on this. Uh, but like, if someone maybe didn't have management experience before or didn't have an
Mhm.
MBA and they were just like looking at these two, how would you sort of describe that in a few words?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, and I also believe it's a decision that only one individual can make because there are many ways to answer it, many ways to look at it. Um, but I also believe at some point of your career, um, if you really want to go up the ladder and be a leader of an organization, at a certain point of your career, you do need an MBA, which becomes a mandatory aspect. But I do have both an MBA and now I'm doing Masters of Finance. When I am doing my job search, what I see specifically for the finance jobs and finance position, companies are mostly looking for people who have a bachelor's or a master's degree in finance. That's the basic needs. But there are companies here and there which would say having an MBA is a preferred qualification. um, I also believe that, again, it's very individual. Want to start with either a master's of finance. I would say Masters of Finance at MBA is a good way to step into the industry since it's just 9 months. A lot of students like to complete it in 9 months, get in, get out, and get a job. And once you are in the industry, you have gained some experience and you want to move up the leadership ladder, getting an MBA would be really beneficial as it trains you with the soft skills that are needed apart from your technical skills too. But there's no wrong. You can start either way too. You could go with an MBA and specialize in finance too, because you're basically going to cover the core essential courses of finance in your concentration. But again, it depends on the individual. How much time do you want to spend at school? How quickly you want to go in the industry? So there are a lot of ways to look into it.
I also think that UCR is a little unique because like our concentration in the MBA, you need 5 classes
Hmm.
in finance to get a concentration in finance. If you wanted to, you could do 9 finance classes in your
Yeah,
second year, which is nearly the entire finance program. The finance program is 12 classes you could do.
yeah,
Most people aren't so focused. Like most people are like, I want to mix it up. I want to take a
mhm,
little bit of finance, a little bit of marketing, a little bit of account. They want to mix up their experience and not totally focus. But our program is so flexible that it allows you to get nearly all the content from the Master of Finance. So, but then, you have to position yourself with the help of, like our student success team. Like, how do you tell that story that, like, I have a lot of background now in finance and I'd like a finance position, and maybe you're even okay with it not being a leadership position right off the bat. You're okay doing, like, you have the skill, you're okay doing the function for a while before you maybe start leading the team or become a regional something.
yeah, I do agree with that.
And because some universities also, like, you could get an MBA, maybe take 2 finance classes, and that'll be a concentration.
Hmm.
So employers don't know, the amount of courses that you've taken, um, I don't know, like you could look at it a couple ways.
Yeah,
Some people could, like your path is. I'm not saying your path is unusual, but some people will do like finance degree and then maybe like they'll work in the industry and then they're like, oh no, I need an MBA. And then they go
yeah,
back, and do like an evening program or something like that a few years later.
yeah,
And so yours is a unique
yeah.
path as well. And there's no wrong, there's a sort of
There's
no
no
wrong
wrong, there's no
way.
right.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I think mine is a very unusual part. Honestly, that's the right way to put in forward. I really like what UCR can give you the flexibility where you can, sort of do 9 courses in finance, and it's basically Masters of Finance. It's all the core essential courses that you would be doing in Masters of Finance. Um, for me, when I did my MBA, I could only concentrate on 4 courses. So my concentration was just limited to 4, whereas UCR gives you the flexibility to concentrate in 9 courses if you want to. So I think that's a very good flexibility and a plus point.
That's great. Um, so again, I think one of the core things to think about when you're looking at an institution like UCR is this. I've worked for universities and business schools that have been like relatively small, almost too small. I think there's sometimes some institutions, they're too small to make like an impact in their market in a way to, like, bring talent in or have, like, you need students in order to, like, take leadership positions in clubs. You can't have 20 business clubs at a smaller school. So I think UCR is the right size for you, like, personally, because in your master's classes, I mean, I can't see where you've had a class that's been larger than 70. in your classes. Usually like that's the largest class that we sort of put you in.
Yeah.
Um, the faculty are going to know who you are. So we're sort of right size, but you have all the resources. You have the resources of a large school, but you have the smaller classroom size where the faculty know who you are. So you've got, I think that's a great advantage of ours. And you have, again, all these sort of clubs and organizations that you can join. um, Someone might be like, I'm interested in venture capital and real estate, and you could just spend a lot of time like delving into that industry through those organizations,
Mhm.
and taking classes on it here and there. um, but you can delve into some of these specializations and even joining professional organizations here in Southern California. That's another great thing as well. Southern California has a lot of because we are just a major hub on the West Coast. Everybody likes to do conferences in Southern California. The weather's nice all year. So all
Mhm.
the finance, conferences and marketing conferences, they all happen anywhere from like Los Angeles, San Diego, Orange County, and
Mhm.
Las Vegas. So you're in a place, you don't always have to go to Chicago and be cold at a conference. You can come.
Yeah.
They all come to Southern California. They like to hold it in Orange County and Anaheim, and then all the conference people go to Disneyland for after the conference is over. So anyway, so those are some other sort of advantages of like being in Southern California.
Yes, and I just wanted to add one thing when you mentioned about the professors and the connections with the student. That's very true. All the professors, they have one-on-one connections with the students. They are not just here to just teach you. I personally went to all the office hours to most of my professors, and I kept in touch with them throughout my course. And what I like about it is I know there was one professor and there was one concept which I was not getting, and I asked my professor the question so many times. My professor was so patient with me, up until he was like, "Simran, did you really get it?" And I was like, "Yeah, now it makes sense." So they show, like, patience with you. They answer you and they deal with you up until you really get the concept, so that you're able to not only just like learn it but understand the concept, and you would be able to use the concept in the real world when you go and do your internship and job. So
Mm.
professors, they are really friendly yet professional. They have a very interactive way of teaching. A lot of my finance professors, they were so passionate about what they used to teach, and I used to be mesmerized. I was mesmerized with this one professor because my professor just went into the concept and could talk for hours and hours about that subject. So they're really passionate about what they are teaching. And this is really nice.
Yeah, it's like they're researchers, but they also have to teach. They have to be good to, we give awards for teaching at UCR, and these faculty, they get competitive.
Hmm.
Like they want to win the Golden Apple Award at the end of the year. Like they want this thing, and therefore, and they compete, and they're like, "How is this being scored?" so, so they want to be good teachers. They
Yeah.
want to be good teachers. And then again, I think I'll again sort of close again with some of the things that we talked about this when you're looking at an MBA, we are developing you. We are developing you as a professional, as like part of the program. It's built into it. It's there on a silver platter. We are giving you all of the advice. We are providing all of the webinars. Different like different companies will hold webinars um, over the course of the year to introduce the application to their internship. And so like what does that look like? Not everybody has access to these to these webinars and get these invitations. And so it's up to you to take advantage of them and uh, get applications and submit them. And being from a strong business school, there's no reason why they wouldn't want to select you. People, and then Simon probably know some students and know some examples. Some of our students, they'll do their internship out of the state. They'll just go relocate. Do you have any examples of some students that you've known that have like actually left over the summer and gone?
Yes, couple of my classmates from my course, they were doing internship back in India. That's their home country. So they did visit India and for like a few weeks, and then they came back to US and they were just doing the internship remotely. But yeah, there were some other students who were doing it completely from India too.
I know, that's interesting. I didn't know someone international. I know some have gone. Someone was talking went to North Carolina for the summer. One guy went to Dallas for a Starbucks internship. Someone went to Florida, year before last. So, sometimes people will like take advantage and like, all right, I'm gonna go pack up. It pays well. I'm gonna go like actually move for 3 months. So,
Oh yeah, and I also knew one girl from a different program. She went to Tennessee, and
okay.
she loved Tennessee so much, and now she's wanting to move to Tennessee for a full-time job, which is good. I like Tennessee too. So
I
yeah,
was
there
born
were.
there.
Oh, you were born there. Okay, that's a fun fact for me.
We got some fun facts. So yes, yeah. So we are winding down. And like taking any final questions, but uh, yeah, absolutely. So the professional development angle is just like something to really, really think about. That it's there, and we have essentially top. We have a top tier platforms and to connect you with these different types of careers and ways to even develop yourself through things like teaching assistantships and stuff like that. Not every school has teaching assistantships available. We have the largest undergraduate business population of all of the University of California, so they need teaching assistants. Okay, so we'll go through some of the questions that have been provided by some folks ahead of time. And so someone is asking something like sort of what are qualification criteria to get a test waiver? So for us, the standardized tests like the GMAT and GRE are optional. They're not required. So you don't have to get a waiver. You can just submit your application and you don't have to include the exam score. So that you don't get a waiver for it. You just don't have to include it. That's okay. Um, and then the English language exams like the TOEFL and the IELTS, those are option. Those are not required if your medium of instruction in your undergraduate university was in English. So a lot of the students that come from India, the medium of instruction is English. We don't need a TOEFL or IELTS from them. And then so someone's asking about the best practice for a video essay. So a number of institutions have video essays for their MBA applicants. We do as well. We've included a video essay. It's changed up a little bit. We used to ask you 3 questions. Now we just ask you 1. It's pretty simple. You get to pick which question you want. So we have about 3 options for you. They're not trick questions. But you have they have a more of a feeling of like an interview question, like for a job, like a job interview question. The question tends to be maybe like we put you in very personalized, like you're put into a scenario. What would you do? Type questions, or you've been given this opportunity. What would you do? Because we don't want people to we want it to be very personal. We don't want people to like chat GPT this answer to a question and something, so it's very personal. We want you to treat it like a job interview. We give you multiple chances to answer it, but we like to see like a right off the cuff. You're asked, you have 60 seconds to think about it, and then you answer it. So so that's the way that interview is. It's only one question, and we're on a new platform this year. It's new, but we suggest, again, treating it kind of like a job interview. And so I hope that helps. I hope that we're not trying to trick you. There's no trick question within it. We're just trying to get an idea about how you think on your feet. Dress somewhat professionally. Like you can wear, you wear a button down like this. You can wear a tie and a jacket. Something like that. That would help too. Wearing your pajamas or something, I don't know, maybe not, but show some personality. You can do that too. But yeah, and then let's see. Yeah, someone is sort of asking questions sort of about like visa type related things and related to like uncertainties about H-1B and stuff like that. The scholarships that we give pretty aggressive scholarshiping. So if you've got a strong quality application that you're submitting to UCR, then you should expect like a competitive scholarship offer from us. If you're submitting a good app, you should expect a strong scholarship from us. And so I would say it's not something that like we've changed, like that necessarily that we've like increased or decreased, whatever. I think we're offering great great scholarships that are, whatever, probably slightly better than the market offers and stuff like that. Yeah, so again, I had a slide on here, but I mean, essentially, like 96% of our admitted students are receiving scholarships from us. And then teaching assistantships can also help with that as well. So those are great questions, all sort of part of that puzzle. Some people are asking about the application process, the scholarship process, and kind of things that they'd be looking at. We think this is going to be a good year. That's why I'd like to sort of highlight some of the employment stuff. I think people had a lot of anxiety about things regarding employment and stuff like that, but like we've been seeing pretty good numbers coming in, and so that's why I was happy to share some of that. And then any final questions that anybody has, we can look at some of those as well. And so we're still early. We haven't even hit our first round yet. As I'm looking at my watch in a dramatic way, our first round is December 15th. If you're getting an application in within like the round 1 or 2, meaning like December 15th or January 31st, that's great, because there'll be teaching assistantships available. We kind of run out of them by April. So if you're applying, late, like in March, we might not have teaching assistantships available. So applying in the early rounds looks good. We give strong scholarshiping, but applying in the early round, maybe 1% or 2 better, things like that. So getting an app in, and there's time. We've got time, so you're not too late. Did you have any final words for us, Simran?
No, I believe you have covered everything. Like I said, great questions from everyone. People who are considering to apply, I would just say put the best self forward, put all the information about your academics. If you have work experience, good. If not, that's good too. When you're answering the video interview, I think it's always good to be genuine, dress nice, dress to impress, and show your personality, like Patrick said. And yeah, I also would say it is always better to apply as soon as possible to encash the better scholarship that you might get. It's also good in ways for international students. The quicker you have the outcome, the quicker you could go and do the visas and the other aspect. And for domestic students, I just feel like it's always good to just get your outcome that you're going to a school, you're going to UCR. It builds up an anticipation. You can connect to other students and make friendships and connections before you even start the
Yeah,
program.
yes, yeah. Be finished with everything in March.
Yeah, and I
Done.
just feel like
Be done.
I am very proactive and I like to do things as soon as possible. It just relieves me. Otherwise, I would have like huge anxiety on my head. But I just think it's always good practice to just get things done. But yeah, if anything comes up, I believe the admission team is the right team and the best team to just contact for any and every questions. But if you want to talk to any student ambassador, myself and my entire team, we also have a web page. Just type Student Ambassador UCR, and you could connect to either me from Masters of Finance or any other graduate ambassadors from one of the MBA or PMBA programs, and they can also share their experience, what they did for their application, how school looks for them, and what are their good points that they can share. So I'm pretty sure my team would also be able to help you. But all the best for your application and the next steps ahead. And we are here for you.
That is some great final advice. That is some great final advice. Simran tours the Southern California with us and meets with. We hung out last week in Orange
Yeah,
County to meet and she gave great advice to some
perspective.
of the prospective students there.
Yeah.
So, well, we're at our hour. I want to thank you for joining, and as she said, she gave you a link to the ambassador site where you can reach out to
Hmm.
them, you can reach out to us, or to the ambassadors. So it was great to have you join us for this session, and GMAT Club is a great partner for us. They give us great reach. The students that join each year, we track all of our students. The ones that come from GMAT Club, they're great. Like we like our like the students that have joined us from GMAT Club events like this has been grows and ticks up every year. So you're on a great platform, and you've picked a great partner. We like working with GMAT Club, and so I wanted to share that and give some confidence to that. And with that, I'm Patrick Latimer, Associate Director of Admissions at the A. Gary Anderson Graduate School of Management, signing off to you. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.